Hey guys, I was going to refilm and post, well, first, ignore my messy hair. I was going to refilm and post Petite and Pretty haul because I filmed one, and then right now, let me change my ring light setting. There we go. I filmed two different ones, and one was just the new stuff, and one had everything. Well, almost everything. I didn't pull out every single bubble bag, but I pulled out one because they're all like the same except for like three of them. Two of them are the exact same, and because they have a sticker on them, and then there's one other that is different, and it's the Halloween one. But you got the idea, basically. And I uploaded both of them, and then for some reason, pretty much the next day, one of them, and then it was just the new stuff, messed up. The, video quality completely messed up on it, and it was glitchy, it was, green, it was, messed up really bad. So I deleted it, and I was just going to leave the other video up because it was fine. And then yesterday, I went to see if there were lights on it or what. And this was the one with everything, and it messed up overnight. Somehow, I don't know why it came up, but it did. So I was gonna refilm one and upload it. I'm gonna do that tomorrow because I don't feel like doing that today. Today is not, my most favorite day ever. Today's the day before Valentine's Day. And 3 years ago on this day was the last time I saw my crush. So today, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications. I slept in a lot today. That was really good. I kind of needed that. And I feel because of the fact that sleep is good, but also with the fact that I had dance yesterday and it was good, just some good sleep. And I didn't get up until 9:17 in the morning, which usually I get up around in between 8:30 through 9, and occasionally a little bit later, but not not that often. Yesterday's combo was amazing. And I'm going to talk about that for a minute. Make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications. But what this video actually is I'm going to be sharing some fun memories about me and my crush, because I feel today's the day that is fine for that. Yesterday was kind of mixed up. So I was supposed to have dance from 3 until 5:15, but what actually ended up happening was that my parents forgot what time I had dance, and so at 2:30, they're oh, why don't we order food from this really nice restaurant on Sagebrush? They're all over the world, and it's a really good, nice restaurant, some nice food, and we, sometimes we'll, order and, bring it to, my dad will, pick it up and bring it to the house and stuff. So at, 2:30, knowing that it's gonna take at least 15 minutes before my dad even, and, before he even leaves to pick it up and stuff, and I have dance in 30 minutes. And it's not even gonna get here in time for me to eat and everything and log on. So I logged on for dance, and I'll just eat I'll wait until 5:15. When I'm done with dance, I'll eat. That did not happen. I actually went like, I'm the type where once something, I'm the type of person where for me, is for some reason whenever, like, I don't do like leftovers from like restaurants because for me it always tastes different and like kind of gross. I don't know what is, but like I do not do leftovers from restaurants or like if it has to be re-microwaved. No, like one time I like had to re-microwave some like chicken tender from Bojangles, which they have like a lot of locations and stuff, and I think they're like I'm all over America. I'm not 100% sure on that, but like literally, I don't know if they're in other places of the world, but like anyway, I had to microwave them because my dad didn't, for some reason, I guess he went and got it for me as I was filming or something, because I don't remember him leaving that day, and basically, no one told me that he got them, so, like, I was starting to get in this, like, mood, like, I'm the type of person where, like, I'll get annoyed with myself, like, whenever I get hungry, I'll like get annoyed with myself and like I won't want to eat anything but like I'm hungry, so I like it takes me like forever to like figure out what I want to eat. Yeah, it's a process, but like and then all of a sudden and he's like, "Are you gonna eat these?" And he showed me them and I'm like, "I didn't know you got them," and he was like, "Yeah, I got them hours ago." And then I microwaved them and they were like disgusting. But yesterday, so literally I like logged off, I ate, and then I like threw away like my containers, like logged back on, and I danced, and we did one of Kalani's solos, and we actually did like the entire solo other than the very, very beginning. We improv for that because the beginning of the solo has like a bunch stuff on the, like has some stuff on the floor and stuff that like we like improv, and I think that because that part is like really, really hard. And like I could handle it, but like it's a class for like all levels. The combo itself was actually kind of challenging, but I loved it because it was more about the acting and like telling the story and not so much the dance. Like it was a lot of work to pull off this dance and make it amazing because this dance like involved a lot of acting and a lot of face and like really using your face and telling the story, but also the moves have to be so precise and stuff. And the solo was say something, say anything. That's the solo. Say something, say anything. And I love that piece and I pulled it off very well. And like I will say like I struggled a little bit with like the steps kind of because, and that was because of the fact that like there's a lot to it. Like there's a lot to it, and also like I happen the time. This is why I do not like marking a dance because half the time we didn't even and go full out on the dance. Half the time was marking the dance, and so and it was just kind of like walking through the dance, like marking it, and that always messes me up. Also, like when we did the like actual like groups, because Gianna and Natalie always separates us into groups when we do a combo. And if there and they have like the rule where if there's more than one person in like for an example, like I have two dance friends and there's two of them. and then like on the same screen, like sharing the same screen and stuff. Then they have like basically have us go in two separate groups. That way we can go full out and we're in two separate groups. And so when it came to the groups, I naturally was messing me. I learned when I'm doing routine with lots of face and lots of emotion, and then I do not look at Natalie, and Natalie was there helping Gian, and the reasoning is because, and I learned this because the first time that Natalie ever joined us with Gian and Martel, she was making faces, and I'm trying to get into the emotion, the character and stuff. We're about to do the final dance, and she's making faces making me laugh, and I'm this isn't good. I love Natalie, by the way. I just in the little moments it's I do not look at her. I get into character, I do the dance, then I look at her afterwards. And yesterday she wasn't really doing that, but for some reason I just kept laughing, almost we were getting ready to, and something, I don't know what it was, but I think we were marking the dance or something, and I think she made a face or something that made me laugh. Natalie is amazing. Go follow her at Natalie Memes on Instagram. But yeah, I learned, and the thing that kind of gets annoying is that whenever we do a combo that I actually get to the combo part and stuff, I'm that more emotional Natalie's always there, and I'm it's just part of the job. No, it's not really a job, but I did a really good job with that dance, and I feel I was messed up because we marked it so many times, and we went full out a couple of times, but I was just kind of messed up because there's a lot where I'm facing backwards and stuff for certain parts on it, and kind of being angled a certain way, so and so that there were a lot to the dance. So I did a really good job at making it full out and telling a story. So I want to talk about some fun memories and about me and my crush, because we're ignoring my messy hair, okay? And I did want to say I'm doing okay today. I'm playing with Sam. Well, I was gonna play with Sam. He didn't want to play. He just wants to lay on my mom's lap and sleep. So but I'm doing okay. I'm good. This is just because I want to share some fun. So there's this one. And I kind of told this story, but I haven't told all the detail to it, so I want to give you more details about it, where the one time we were doing something, and at music class, I forget what the theme was or something, and then the teacher pulled out the karaoke machine, and it's we're gonna all go outside. I think we were doing some sort of baseball type, or we were just going outside, because there was a playground set up outside, and then there was also a nice little field area. And so we were going outside, and I forget what we were doing. And then basically what happened was that right before we go out, the teacher went around and asked who's doing the karaoke thing. She comes to me, and again, my crush is on the other side of the room. I'm whispering it very quiet, enough to where the teacher can hear it, but no one else really could, because I was shy. I would say I'm still shy, but I'm definitely a lot better than I was. Like, not that being shy is a bad thing. It's just I'm not as shy as I was, thanks to my crush. Then, basically, Equation comes to me and I'm like, no. She's like, why don't you sing like part of Let Go? And I'm like, no. And somehow, my crush overheard this, and like everyone was getting like their shoes on because we were allowed to like take our shoes off, but if we like took our shoes off, we had to like take our socks off for like safety reasons, so we like don't slip and stuff. So we were getting like our shoes on socks and shoes, and I think I was wearing like flip flops that day or something. So like even my crush comes up to me, no one else is really around. Like they're all like getting their shoes on, like they're around but like not enough to like really know what's going on. And he's like, I heard you're not singing, and I'm like thinking in my head, how did he find this out? Like it wasn't announced to anyone, like only the music class teacher knew, like, but I went with it, and I'm like, no. And he's like, come on, you're really good at it, like, do it for me, like, you're amazing at it, I want to see you sing, like, I pulled his normal stuff that he would pull. I tried to convince me to make it a yes. And let's just say it worked, and finally, like, at this point, we've been through this thing so many times that I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I gotta change it to a yes now. Unless cause I know it's just gonna end up being a yes. Somehow, some way, he'll get it to a yes. So I'll save it the time and just say yes. So I went like, okay, fine. And he like went over and told the music class teacher. This gets embarrassing for me. I don't know if like we did something together that day or not. I feel like we did because I like don't remember like looking like at him and like the like audience type thing. Because what they would do is they would take half of the room and it would be like the stage, and then the other half where like the entrance and stuff was like the audience area. Slash there were steps over there and stuff, so like all of a sudden we go out, we do the stuff outside, we're walking back in, and then as we're walking back in, we're like going through the waiting room like normal, and he literally says in front of everyone in the waiting room, and we're gonna sing, and I'm like, okay. I'm like thinking in my head, and like I'm just gonna get this over with and be done with it. And that's the thing that I do want to say is that I never really wanted to sing, but there was never really a reason. Like it was like it was like here's the thing, and I'm gonna like put it out like how it is basically. Including that I feel like there was always like a reasoning of like some form of like fear or something, but not really like it was more just something like made me never want to do it, like fear. Like that's basically the answer. But it was never caused by anything. It was never like someone said something or oh I was worried someone was gonna say something bad about it or like it had nothing to do with that because I'm the type of person where I want the truth. And if I didn't do so good, I want you to tell me, hey, this wasn't your best. But next time you'll do better. Like, that's how I learn. Like, I like that because it's being nice while also stating truth. And my family all gonna come probably like start texting me afterward. Stuff like, you know that's not true, like you're amazing. And I get that, but not everything is amazing. And sometimes I don't do the greatest. And that, like, and this isn't me being negative on myself. I'm saying that, like, if I didn't do that good, I want to know. I don't want everyone being like, oh, you did amazing. And stuff. But I did pretty good this day, I guess. I don't really know. I was so caught up in the fear. Like, literally, like, and yeah, I think we were doing something together that day, like, because I don't remember looking at him, like, in the audience, which is what I would always do. So I, like, get in, and then, like, everyone goes, like, and then, like, me and my crush, like, we went up. I'm thinking in my head, I don't want to do this. Like, and here's the thing, if I were to generally tell my crush, no, I'm not doing this, he would have been okay with it. He would have, like, tried to, like, I convinced, like, it to be a yes and been like, well, you're really good at it, like, something like that, but he would have understood and, like, and not made me do it, like, and then, and literally, like, and my dad, like, said something before, like, we walked in. He went, like, do you want me in there? And I'm like, no. Like, I literally said that, and, like, I kind of said it in a rude way, but, like, I didn't mean to. And like, I'll explain in a second. And so, like, we get in there because, like, in front of family, it's 1,000 times worse for me. Like, I will say that it is actually not even 1,000 times. I would say like 1,000,000 times worse in front of family. So, like, I don't. So, literally, like, we get in there, and, like, I get it over with, and I look up, and I saw that my crush's grandfather was watching. And I'm like, everyone enjoyed it, got it done with, and that was, like, when I got in the car, like, well, afterwards, my crush was like, you did amazing, and then, like, we, like, walked out, like, all of that, like, and then when we got in the car, like, actually afterward, I was, like, glad that's done, never want to do that again, like, in a way, I feel like I don't really know if it was worse or if, like, that time because of the fact that I realized, oh, my crush's grandfather is watching this, like, I don't know because I never been the one that like tried to impress like his grandparents, but like I don't really know. Then then I'm gonna tell you something. So basically like so like there's a lot that went into it and I get in the car and I'm like, I didn't mean to be rude when I said that and he's like, yeah, I know, I was just messing with you. Because my dad knew that like worked for me in front of like family, like, and there's not really a reasoning behind it. But he was like doing it to mess with me, and I'm like, that was not the timing for that, but okay. But here's what I want to say is that this is a fun little fact is that based off of looks, I cannot tell which is my crush. Because him and his twin brother look the exact same. Like, and that's something that I'm saying here and I'm saying it out, is that they look the exact same and they both, like, I've seen them together a couple of times. And first up, they look the exact same, and they both look kind of like they have a similar style or something. And so, like, based off of looks, I'm not joking, one day, like his twin brother had joined us for, like, a few minutes we were, like, setting up for music class. And they were, like, messing around, like, they kept, like, switching in the room, like, yeah. I'm not doing anything bad or anything, like, they were just kind of messing around, having fun, like, and I'm watching it, and I'm trying to figure out who is who, like, literally, like, I knew, like, I kind of had an idea from like the starting point, because like of their voice, like like that kind of something. And then I thought about this the other night, and I went like, well, they look the exact same, and I think my crush looks pretty nice. Like, he looks nice. His looks are amazing. And I thought about that, and I'm like, I guess as I think his twin brother also looks amazing. I do not have a crush on his twin brother, no, but he does look nice, I'll say that. Only because by default, if I think my crush looks nice, then that means I think his twin brother looks nice, because they look the exact same. But, like, my crush is, like, amazing. I love him so much. So, like, I mean, like, that's a fun little fact. Ooh, I don't think I ever told this story. There was a time when, and, like, we went, so basically music class, like, I don't, like, know why it was really called music class, because, like, we would always do something with instruments, but it was more like fun activity class. Well, sometimes fun, sometimes like not fun. Like it really depends on if there was singing involved. If it was singing involved, then it was not fun for me. Now, things have changed a little. So like, basically this, but it was just me and my crush that showed up this one week, and actually we did do some like singing, and that like for some reason that was like that day was not a good day. Like literally in front, and at this point like he was literally like pep talking me in front of the entire like in front of the music class. He didn't really pep talk me that day. Literally what happened was like the first activity we kind of got to like plan out the activities alone, or because it was just us and the music class teacher, which was actually kind of nice. But like, one of the things I think he like picked out was like karaoke machine. So he like did his thing. I was sitting on the stairs, and then he's like, "Your turn," and I'm like, "No," and he's like, "You're doing it for me," and I'm like, "Okay, fine." Not even gonna try to make that a no, like, because I would have a lot of explaining to do, like, and what I mean by that is, like, I won't have a lot of explaining. It was just kind of like, it was one of those situations where no was kind of not an option anymore. Because I don't want him thinking it was caused by, like, something like, oh, like, the fear was caused by something. But anyways, like, it was a thing. So, yeah, peace. Okay, ignore that sound. It's a weather radio thing, but anyways, like, I did a little bit with, like, piano that day, like, there's not really much to that story, but, like, it was a really fun moment, or, like, a really fun day, other than the singing part. And I feel like that was one of those times that, like, it wasn't even worth trying to make it a no because of the fact that, like, it was just him. Like, it was just him watching, and he was always the one that I would look for, like, and stare at the whole time, like, so, like, there really was no point in making it a no. That's just like sometimes. I might make a part 2 to this.